Hello, and welcome back to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith. So, you guys, this week is the week of the new moon, and the new moon happens to fall on my birthday, June 6th. So, we have a lot of exciting things going on. And for my birthday, I am launching a brand new program, a program that has been up and coming for a while now. You guys have asked about it. I've thought about it for years. I finally have it. It's called Podcast Creator Academy, and it's going to show you everything you need to know step by step with video tutorials of exactly how I got my podcast up and running, how I deal with my podcast episodes every week. It has everything you need to know to start your podcast. So that is coming. And since it's my birthday, I thought it would be fun to do a birthday bundle. So I put all of my business courses together. You have the new podcast course, you have digital CEO, which is how I teach you in 6 weeks how to create your own app. And then Freedom Tribe, which is how I teach you how to automate your business, set everything up to scale and grow and make money on autopilot so that you have more freedom in your life. So all three of those courses are bundled for my birthday this week only. If you want details on that, you can go to the show notes or you can just text the word podcast to 929-642-0103. I'll say that once again, in case you just are getting out your text now. Text podcast to 929-642-0103, and I will send you a free lesson, first of all, on the course. It's going to be 4 things that you need to know before starting a podcast. And I will send you the bundle, the info, the new course, everything you could possibly need. So get on that list, and I hope to see you inside. I know a lot of you guys have told me over the years that you want to start a podcast. There's a lot of fear around it, a lot of like, I don't even know how, I don't know where I would start, I don't know what I would do it on. This program covers all of it. So definitely recommend. And as you know, if you've ever worked with me, I talk all of my coaching clients into starting a podcast because it's that important. Like it's that much of a game changer. Definitely more important than social media, than website, than all these other things that we all work on that really don't get many results. So it's definitely should be like a top priority for anyone, whether you found your purpose and now you're trying to figure out like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do? How do I turn this into a business? Or you already have a business and you're not getting anywhere on social media. You're really slow to gaining a following, an audience, making money. Podcasting, literally the best thing you can do for your business. It is a free marketing tool that not enough people are using. So be one of the people, use it. It'll change your life just like it changed mine. Okay, so I want to get into the new moon because you guys know I'm all about moon rituals. Um, the new moon is always really exciting for me because I'm very much a goal setter. I love to, you know, do like guided journals, write out my goals, affirm them, do vision boards, like all that kind of stuff. I don't know, I have so much fun with it. And so I thought that this would be a fun episode to do where I just kind of talk about some of the things that I've been doing with this particular new moon. So, this new moon is in Gemini on my birthday, June 6th. And the new moon is a time of rebirth. Okay. So, this is a time where I want you to think about the slate being wiped clean. You're getting a fresh start, it's a new beginning. And a lot of times around this time of the year, it kind of hits you. You know, it's like we're pretty much halfway through the year at this point. School's let out already, which for the parents out there, it's like every year I'm like, oh my gosh, this school year went by so fast. This year went by so fast. How are we in June already? And you can have a lot of thoughts like, wow, I didn't get anything done this year so far. Like none of my goals are really moving. And, you know, because we could just get in the grind, get stuck in our routines and not really take a lot of action. And then next thing we know, we're halfway through the year. And so just think of this as kind of a reset. You're going to reset the clock and we're going to think about where you want to be by the end of this year. By the time New Year's Eve rolls around, what do you want to have accomplished? Where do you want to be? How do you want to feel? What do you want your life to look like? And this is a great time to start setting those goals and look at it from a fresh new perspective. So the new moon, it's really when you want to commit to goals. So I know I've done a lot of podcast episodes on deciding you want it. Like the deciding point, in my opinion, is like the most important part of manifesting, because once you like truly decide, like you are going all in, you are committing to this goal, the universe will move mountains to make it happen. Like it is unreal the level of opportunity and like all of the things that start falling into place when you simply make the decision to commit to a goal. It's not like making a decision is not, oh, I wish this would happen. Oh, it would be nice. I sure would like. It is like, this is happening. I am doing it. I'm going all in. I am like going for it. I'm putting all my eggs in this basket and I am going for it. I am fully committed. It's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, because I'm deciding that it is done. I'm deciding it is already done and I'm ready to step into this new reality. That's committing to a goal. And this time, this new moon in Gemini is the perfect time to do that energetically. And you might be feeling it. Maybe you've had a lot of thoughts about new ventures or finally taking action on something you've been thinking about for a long time. Work with that energy, because when you put it off and you say, well, I'll do it after summer, I'll do it, blah, 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 when the kids are in school, no, you won't. You're feeling that now. The energy is now. The time is now. Now is when you want to move forward with these goals. Okay. So don't second guess yourself, commit to it, decide, and go all in. This is what needs to happen right now. So again, a powerful, powerful technique to do, and I think particularly with this new moon, is to meditate or like do a visualization where I want you to imagine that it's New Year's Eve of this year. New Year's Eve, you are closing out the year. You're with whoever you care about, friends, family, loved ones, and you're celebrating. What are you celebrating? Who are you with? Like, what have you accomplished throughout the year? What obstacles have you overcome? Think about that. Like, really put yourself in that future version of yourself and paint that picture exactly how you want it. Not what you think will happen, not like what you think is reasonable or practical, what you truly desire, where you really want to be deep down inside. That's what I want you to visualize. And you can visualize like in a meditation. Sometimes it helps to write it out. Sometimes it helps to talk it out. You can talk with a friend. You could even record yourself on video. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, but just kind of do that exercise and kind of think about that. Like, where do I want to be? Because right now, if I keep doing the same old, I'm going to be in the same position right now at the end of the year. And if you want that to be different, if you want to have already achieved goals or you want to be in a certain place by then you need to start visualizing that. Visualize the outcome, feel it, see it, understand it, think like it's already been done. It's a really, really powerful exercise to do. It doesn't take a lot of time. And I think it's fun. Like it's one of those things that gets me all like excited about what's to come. And it's kind of like gives you that little burst of inspiration to move forward with your goals. Now, something else to keep in mind with this new moon is it's all about improving communication skills as well as social skills. Okay. So this isn't a time to be cooped up inside and avoid people and say no to going out and having, company over or whatever. This is the time where you want to say yes. You want to be around people. You want to be in social settings. You want to communicate. Okay. Even like throughout the week, just take a few extra seconds to smile at someone, ask them how their day is going, whether it's like a coworker or a friend or whatever. just take a few extra seconds to go out of your way and just communicate a little bit. Now, this is also a good time to hear other viewpoints. Okay, so you want to look at things from the other person's perspective. So maybe there are friends or family members or acquaintances, whatever, that you've had disagreements with. Maybe your relationship's a little rocky now because of it. This is a good time to try and look at things from their perspective and listen to them. So a lot of times when people hear about communication skills, you think about talking. You think about being the outgoing, life of the party. The exact opposite is true. So when I was in sales for 12 years, and this could not have been ingrained in me more, I think it's the reason why I was always really successful in sales, because I am not a talkative extrovert. Like, the fact that I have a podcast is really weird because I'm not a talkative person. I'm a person of few words. But in sales, they always said the best form of communication that everyone had to work on, everyone would get critiqued on this one thing, and that is listening. Because we as human beings, we just like are thinking about what we want to say next. We're trying to one up the person next to us. We want to be right. We don't want to look stupid. And we're missing the most important component, which is listening. Like, and not just listening, like truly, genuinely, like listening to try to understand, to try and see another perspective. So this is where you want to really like improve this skill by not dominating the conversation. So be consciously aware that you are going to actively listen. You're not going to dominate the conversation. You're not going to lead the conversation. You can ask questions, but you're not going to go in there with like your agenda. Okay. And then let go of that need to be right. And like, instead of trying to be right, your goal should be to try and understand, to try and find common ground, to try and mend and heal this relationship where maybe you've had disagreements in the past because you aren't effectively communicating. And the thing about this is you don't have to agree. Like, there's no rule that says you have to agree with someone, but you can choose to understand that they simply see things differently. And that's their right. They can believe whatever they want. They can think whatever they want. That is their right, just like it's your right. And how boring would this world be if we all agreed on everything all the time? Like, it's great. We always talk about like diversity, but we don't really talk about like diversity of opinion. Like, it is really good to have different perspectives, different beliefs, different thoughts, different viewpoints. Otherwise, like, nothing would ever get done. If we all thought the same way all the time, number one, it would be boring. But number two, like, nothing would get accomplished. And so just kind of try to look at it from that point of view. Now, this, I am talking to myself as I'm saying this because I need to hear this. Like, I get very passionate, especially about like certain topics, like with politics or current events. And like sometimes I tend to think that I know it all. I know it all and I'm right all the time. And so this is where I'm like talking to myself and saying, okay, I'm going to pause. I'm consciously choosing to listen. And I'm consciously trying to see another perspective and just understand where they're coming from, knowing that I'm not going to agree with it most likely. I'm not going to change my mind or my beliefs or my values, but I can respect that they have different beliefs and values, and that's why they see something in a different way than I do, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, we don't have to agree with each other, but we can still respect one another. We can still talk to one another. We can still have interesting conversations. We can still have a positive relationship despite our differences in our beliefs and viewpoints. So that's like, I am talking to myself. I'm not like trying to preach. This is just something I want to work on. And this is specifically aligning with this new moon, because this new moon is all about communication and improving those communication skills, healing disagreements and relationships that may have been kind of rocky because of the lack of communication. And this is the energy to do it. This is the time to come together and be social. And it reminds me of this really great old-timey book that I think everyone should read at least once in their lifetime. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he says, when someone says something that you disagree with, just simply say, is that so? And like, I know we don't talk like that anymore. Like, this was written a long time ago, but you could just be like, really? Oh, like, I didn't know that. Or is that right? Like, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to agree, but you can just be like, huh, interesting. Like, you don't have to be an asshole, which I know, like, I can come off that way in certain situations, but you don't have to be that way. You can just simply, like, instead of voicing your opinion and disagreeing with everything they just said, just be like, huh, interesting. Like, oh, is that right? Cool. Like, it's that simple. And like in the book, he goes into detail and explains how nobody wants a know it all. Nobody wants to be around a know it all. Like, think of someone in your life that always has to be right. And they're always arguing. It's like you could say that the sky is blue and they're going to argue about it. And they're going to be like, well, actually, it's not blue. It's every color but blue, but all right, blah, 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 blah. It's annoying, right? It's so freaking annoying. Like, it'll drive you crazy. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Nobody wants to be around a know it all, and nobody wants to be embarrassed or proven wrong or called out, especially around other people. And so sometimes, like, even with loved ones, you know, you might think it's funny to like call out someone or kind of poke fun at them around other people. Don't do that. Don't like that is not, it's just not okay to do. And so it's like these little things that we're so consciously unaware of. It's all subconscious, but it can really be affecting our relationships and making us look like assholes, quite frankly. And I know these are things that I have to work on. And I think there are things that a lot of us have to work on, you know? And it's not easy. It is not easy. No one teaches us like how to effectively communicate. Like, this is one of the best books ever written because it actually lays it all out there. And it just teaches you things that everyone should know because everyone wants to be liked. No one wants to be the asshole in the room. Like, you just don't want to come across that way. And this book just goes over so many things like that. So it's like, don't call people out, don't put them down, don't put down their ideas, seek to understand, find common ground, but most importantly, listen. Just listen. They stop talking, ask another question, and listen. Like, the whole book is basically that. Like, just listen. And he tells a story how, like, he was at a dinner party and he was sat next to someone that I think was like really difficult or like maybe not the most friendly person. And he didn't say anything. All he did was he would ask questions and let her talk. And then when she got done talking, he would just ask another question. And he did that throughout the entire dinner party. And then after the dinner party, the host was like, oh my gosh, this person just said that you're their best friend and you're just the most amazing, smart, educated, intelligent person she's ever met. And he was laughing because he's like, I literally said nothing. I let her talk about herself the entire time. And I would just ask questions and I would genuinely listen to understand and get to know her. And like that always stuck with me, but easier said than done, right? So it's definitely a skill that I've been trying to work on for a long time. I have a long way to go. This new moon is when it's good to like be consciously aware of this and try to improve it. So let's see. Those are the main two things. Now, like communication and then committing to new goals. Okay. Those are the two things with this new moon. Something that I want to talk about, and I'm putting this in the app. So the Manifest It Now app, I have revamped the moon rituals. So I just did the full moon one when we had the full moon. Now there's a new moon. It has a guide with like all of my new moon rituals, and I switch them out every month. So every month I'll pick like a specific ritual and work on it. It has 20 new moon journal prompts. It has a subliminal specifically for the new moon. So you can check all that out there. But one of the things that I just did recently, and I think everyone should do this, it's such a good practice. And to be honest, I really only do it about once a year. And so what we do is every year we go to Naples, Florida. And I've been going there since I was a kid. My grandma used to have a condo there, and I just love it. The energy is unlike anywhere I've ever been in the entire world. It's just I can't even describe it. It just feels good to me. And I think as people, I think we are attracted to different areas energetically, just like we're kind of like certain areas kind of repel us, right? So once a year we go there. And while we're there, it's a very wealthy area. And when I say wealthy, I mean billionaires, a lot of them everywhere. Like everywhere you go, there are billionaires. Now, what I do and what I started this last year, my husband and I have been doing this for years, but starting last year, I took my daughter, my 14-year-old, along on my like moving vision board. That's what I call it. And basically, it's like a vision board, right? Like you're seeing all of these things that you would love to have, this life you would love to live. But instead of putting it on a board where you're just looking at a picture, you're actually putting yourself in the movie, so to speak. And the difference energetically is enormous. Like a vision board, you have to really kind of like try to feel into it and to like put yourself in that scenario. When you're actually in it, you don't have to try. You're just fully immersed in the energy of that environment and in the feelings of already having it. And so basically what we do is we go down to like Fifth Avenue area and we drive through all the neighborhoods and we go up and down the beach and there are billion air homes everywhere. I mean, unlike anything you could possibly imagine. And everything is just like so perfectly manicured, but so like vibrant. And it's really funny because I didn't say it. It was actually my husband that said it. We were on the beach and we were looking at all these homes. And my daughter thought it was hilarious because I was like walking up to the houses and like taking pictures, and there's like no trespassing signs everywhere. And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm putting myself in the scenario." Okay. And my husband was like, like the energy just feels good here. Like it is a vibe. And I can't describe it. Like I cannot describe it. All I could say is when you hear about like paradise, like for me, that's what this area is. Like we were taking photos at sunset on the beach, and I did not have to edit any of them because it looked like everything had a filter on it. But in real life, like the colors, everything was just so vivid, so vibrant. Everyone there was like happy and calm. There was no stress. There was no frantic energy, no exhaustion. It was like everyone was just fresh and smiling and good, like everyone. And I'm not just talking about like the billionaires. I mean, there were people from all over the board that were at the beach, and everyone was just kind of in this like peaceful, joyful, abundant vibe. And it's the only place in the world that I experience that consistently all the time. And you don't even have to do anything. Like you just go there and you're instantly immersed into it. And I feel like if there is a quantum leap, it happens at this trip every year because every time I go, the level of like elevation in my mindset is expanded times like a million. And even my daughter, because like we were looking at all these, beautiful houses, and over the next 24 hours, we had like game plans. I mean, we had ideas and we felt so inspired. And we were like, oh my gosh, we could do this and then we could do that. And then, da, da, da. And we were so excited. And it was just like, it felt like anything was possible. We felt limitless. Like we could do anything. We could live here if we wanted to, no problem. Well, instead of talking about it, let's just do it. Let's start making a plan. Like that is the kind of mindset that this place brings out in me. So, with all that being said, what is your moving vision board? Where can you put yourself in the movie now? Maybe it's going to a part of town that you've always wanted to live, the neighborhood that has your dream home. Maybe it's going on a 1 day, getaway, or maybe it's putting yourself in a scenario around people that you would like to work with or you would like to be around. Like it's going to be different for every single person, but we all know what that place is, right? It's like your happy place, the place that makes you feel alive, where like you don't have a care in the world and everything seems possible. Find that place and go to it. Like make a plan. Like we consistently have a plan to go there every year. And then we upped it. Like we were like, why are we going every year? We should be going every quarter. And like, why not stay for a month instead of staying for a week? And like, we just keep up leveling our mindset. And alongside the mindset, like opportunities just show up. They just appear. Like all of a sudden, things that seemed impossible a week ago are now not only possible, there's like literal opportunities popping up left and right. That is the power of a moving, walking, breathing vision board, of putting yourself in the scenario, putting yourself in the movie and just acting like it's already so. Like we already live here. We already have all this abundance and wealth. And we already live in this area where the energy is perfect all the time and you just feel amazing. Like put yourself in that scenario for real, like your real body, but go and put yourself in that scenario. And you could even do this as like a little getaway. Like maybe you have a 1 night getaway with your spouse where you go and you get like the best Airbnb or best hotel room you can find. And just for 1 night, you just go and live there and you just act like this is normal. This is our normal life. And you talk about your goals and you set big money goals and you talk about plans and you just start like acting as if you just start living that life now. And it's amazing how in a short period of time, your mindset just multiplies like instantly. And that's what I did this week with the new moon. And I'm still on that high, if you can't tell, from like all those feelings and that energy and that buzz. And I highly recommend you guys start looking for that for yourself. Like find something and put yourself in that scenario now and just let yourself be immersed in the energy and you will quantum leap like no other. Like it is such a powerful manifestation tool. So that's what I have for you. All right. So just to recap, you are going to commit to goals. You are going to decide what's happening. You are going to improve your communication skills by listening. And you're going to find your moving vision board and you're going to put yourself in it, even if it's just for a few hours. Put yourself in the scenario. All right. So lots of good things are going to happen this week. You've got this. Go check out my birthday bundle. It expires midnight on June 9th. So you only have a few days to grab it. I think you're going to love it. And again, I'll link it in the show notes, or you can text the word podcast to 929-642-0103. And then if you don't already have the Manifest It Now app, go get it. Go to the moon ritual section and you'll see all the new moon stuff that I added that'll be perfect for this new moon, including a subliminal, journal prompts, and all these rituals. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you back here next time.